Hello, welcome to Breakfast Central. It's the second day of the week and we're in December. How time flies. I remember when it was January, but we're happy to be here as always. Good news, great things are happening. We're seeing movement here and there, but the government still needs to step up. And one thing I've also noticed is the code of conduct of government communication spokesperson. It leaves a lot to be desired. It's either they're tweeting memes of an opposition leader dancing, or they're referring to fellow journalists as clowns, or outright denial. I mean, you're not doing Nigerians a favor. You're only there for temporary time. And if you're representing the presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, if you're a spokesperson, there's a certain level of decorum that is needed. But we'll get there. I guess we're still a nascent democracy, as they say. 25 years. Still a baby. So compared to 200 years plus of the United States, for example. So it's a learning process and the learning curve. And as journalists, we'll continue to point them in the right direction. But away from that, you're welcome to Breakfast Central. Lagos is looking Christmassy. Even the mainland, they used to miss out on a lot of the Christmas decorations. A private company, they do beverages. They've decided to, take it upon themselves as part of the CSR to light up some parts of Lagos, the capital, Ikeja, and there's a huge Santa on a sleigh around Awolowo Road, and there's also Christmas lights. But the thing is, in Norway, it's just that what we lack now is Harmattan.
It's coming. Harmattan is coming.
Well, okay.
I think this morning it was a bit hazy.
But we need that Norwegian weather. Just like the guys in those
too much. Lagos population is too much.
Yes.
In the north, Harmattan is there already. In Sokoto already, I had a friend who had touched down in Sokoto, and he said, "Oh, it's really cold in Sokoto as it is."
Hopefully,
but it's coming. Lagos always takes time. Last year we experienced it half hesitantly, if you put it that way. Yeah. It came and then went back. I mean, we're talking to Harmattan like it's a person. It came and then left. But it eventually stayed for a period of time. And shockingly, that of Lagos extends sometimes up until the end of January/February. So maybe we'll just have to be patient. But Good morning to our viewers. A beautiful morning to you. I must first of all tell Benga that I think Benga slept thinking about the communication of governance. And then he woke up. He couldn't waste time without even saying good morning to you, beautiful people. He just went straight into it. It's in the body, the pain.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, while we were talking, I was like, okay, Benga really needs to get this off his chest this morning before he actually proceeds. But then again, I mean, that shows that the passion you have for this job.
Yes.
You slept with it, you woke up with it, and you couldn't wait to get going. So it means at a certain point in your lifetime, I mean, I'm already thinking ahead in the future. I mean, hopefully life and good health. It would be nice to sit with you maybe when we're like 70 years, old beards, and we're like, remember when we used to work in that station back then,
Good times.
Don't fret though. Olive is around. She's somewhere in the studio. She'll be joining us pretty soon. It's that December period, so we're doing a little things behind the scenes. So she's trying to get some things ready and set. She will join us. But a wake-up conversations, we need to drive and we need to start moving. Benga, big one.
We'll start off in the southwestern part of Nigeria. Melodrama played out at the First Lady's coronation when she abruptly stopped the Osun State Governor Adeleke, cautioning him not to continue singing and warning that his microphone will be switched off if he did. The moment briefly disrupted the event, leaving attendees stunned as the exchange unfolded in full view of guests and cameras. Though the ceremony quickly returned to order, the incident has since drawn the wide attention, adding that unexpected twist to an otherwise celebratory occasion. Let's take a listen.
Which kind of
So you saw that mild exchange between the governor of Osun State and the First Lady of Nigeria, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu. It was an occasion. She was given a chieftaincy title. And the governor, in his usual, is a happy-go-lucky guy. He likes to sing a lot, likes to dance, and, he was doing his thing, but she wouldn't have none of it. Like, it's my occasion. You're not going to take all this time. Please fix up. And many people have been wondering if it's disrespectful to the governor, if it's breaking of protocol, that she should, knowing the type of person he is, she should have just let him be. And others have also questioned the office of the First Lady, that is this office constitutional? The monies that are voted to this office, under what ministry, and who's accountable for it. But when we get to what Nigerians are saying, I guess we'll hear more from them. Joe, what do you make of that exchange?
Being I stumbled on that video yesterday. I think I have a different opinion. I did hear people talk about the constitutional rights. First of all, people have taken it outside the context of just what happened. Rather, what they've simply said is the way the First Lady was talking to a, in quotes, duly elected or constitutionally elected official of the Federal Republic of Nigeria by the name of His Excellency, the Governor of Osun State. They said they didn't like it, and people said because one is elected, the other one isn't. So what powers does the First Lady have to talk down
then beyond that,
in public?
On a human-to-human level.
That's one.
Yeah.
That's one. So people have highlighted that. Secondly, people have also highlighted the fact that in terms of communication, that it didn't show any sign of respect. That even if you don't respect the person, you could respect the office. That's what people said. But I'm indifferent.
No, I mean, she also touches papers. I mean, the speech on the podium, it's not her property. What business do you have touching it? I mean, the whole thing didn't look good at all. And for VIPs, for high network individuals at that level, there should be a certain way of communicating. She shouldn't have even gone there personally. She could have sent an aide to hold a piece of paper and drop a note and move. And then he would get the message. That's what we do when we're emceeing. And we have a speaker that is...
The question is, who was the MC of that event?
It's not about the MC, it's about her conduct.
I agree.
Wasn't... Okay. It wasn't right that she disrespected him in that manner.
So you have your points, you have your opinion, but my opinion simply, like I said, is quite different. And my opinion thus, one, I think she was overseeing the entire event because it showed.
No, they're honoring you, so you should lay back, sit back, enjoy the moment.
Calm down.
You cannot oversee your own event. No.
I think she was overseeing the entire event. You could see how she was moving. That's not just the only video. She also gave a speech where she was speaking to the former First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dame Patience Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. She said, Mama P, Mama P, you don't smile now. And we could tell it was hard for Mama P to smile, which is the former wife of the former president. But she was able to, put up a smirk or a smile as well, and then stood up and gave a little bow before she sat down. My point is this, like I said, I'm seeing it differently. What I see there is I think she was more of the person who was trying to put the whole event together, because it looked pretty much so. If you watch other clips, she was up and about, she was everywhere. Secondly, my point in that video, what we saw, I think what we saw there is a communication thing that has been, I think they're close. I think they're close. I think they're close in the sense that both of them have a relationship in terms of how they talk. Okay. They relate with each other. So if you look at the way she was talking to him, I think it was a case of, like your brother, my brother, hey, what's going on? Hey, do this, do that. You could see it's just a case of, that's how I choose to say it. I was going to say it the other way, like you just mentioned, what everybody's saying, but I pushed back and said, but wait, if you know someone so close, you could talk to them and say, oh God, do quick now,
but in
this
the
your
full
song
glare
too much. I beg,
but in the full glare of cameras and the world press there. And by the way, the event was a part of commemorations to mark the 10th year anniversary on the throne of the Oni of Ife.
Absolutely.
He had a university launch, he had several events, and she was also given
a chieftaincy, title as well. Not her first.
I understand that passion.
So that's what I see. I just see a case of, oh God, your song is too much. I say, oh God, please do quick, I beg. Let's do this thing and go.
Will you do that?
Don't waste
your
time.
Own special day.
So it depends on how close I am with the person. If I'll give you an instance. If it were to be Olive, I would tell Olive as well, Olive, please do quick. I beg, leave this your dance. I beg, do quick. You know, we have to leave this place and so on. It may look different from you see, what we have there is the eye view of the person who was recording. And some people have also come up to say, oh, they're different.
There was a hot mic moment. We heard what she said on.
Yeah, she said, if you don't, I'll switch off your microphone.
Exactly. So she was talking to him like she's talking to a worker or subordinate. You don't talk to an executive governor like that. I appreciate your efforts in trying to spin it, but that spin isn't working. She was outright disrespectful, and she's expected to conduct herself better. But let's take a listen.
Let's get the opinion of Nigerians. Let's see what they're saying very quickly on this issue. This is a long one. So I'm going to make mention here. I'm just going to summarize this. Dele Momodu, of course, you know, Chief Dele Momodu is also a chief. He has a chieftaincy title, by the way, and he has moved to the new political party, left the PDP. Here talked about his encounter with the First Lady as well, that it wasn't too good. It was a time where he met the First. I'm just summarizing so we can move on to his points. I'd like us to break down his points where he starts from 1. In this encounter, he said he had met with the First Lady, and while they were talking, that it didn't really look good. That the First Lady eventually now told him, won't you support my husband, his political ambition? And he said he can't. And then she took it up against him, and it looked like it was an outright disrespect. So he's saying that he's aware of the way she talks to people. But let's leave that. Let's go to some of the points he highlighted. 1, he said this latest tirade against an elected governor was totally beneath her for several reasons. She's not an elected officer of government and has no role assigned to her in the Constitution of the Federal Republic. It is totally repugnant to openly disgrace, insult, and bully the Chief Executive Officer of Osun State before a global audience, including his own wife. She went too far. 2, it is unbelievable that a self-professed pastor of the Redeemed Christian Church of God would frown at a governor praising God. Her church should be very embarrassed. 3, would she have tried this with a northern governor reciting the Holy Quran before his speech? 4, why does she think a family owns Nigeria and can publicly go on rampage as she wishes? 5, many commentators have said she was lucky that Governor Adeleke is a perfect gentleman. But I can't really blame Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu. I blame the squirmish Nigerians. I am not included, so is Benga and Olive and the rest of the team at New Central, who chose to be voluntary slaves in their own country. Shame on the cowardly people who sold their inalienable rights to power. That's a clear indication, and that's what Chief Dele Momodu has said.
It will be very nice to
hear let's see more.
a female perspective. But let's
see more. Total disrespect, but then the governor said, no, they tired to sing. Let's take some more. Let's take some more tweets very quickly and see what Nigerians are saying about the situation. You wouldn't call it a fracas, would you? Maybe it was just a little difference in terms of what did happen.
Let's take some more.
Let's see if we have some more tweets very quickly. More tweets. This one says, when you have judges singing on your mandate and Senate presidents referring to other senators as children of the First Lady, this is the result.
Okay, Bishop, we have to fact check you on the spot. The judges did not sing on your mandate.
They did not. So let's correct that. They did not sing. They said they just stood up for the national anthem, just to clarify, and then it was the band.
Yes, that was playing.
Of the president's band that played that song.
The Brigade of Guards.
The Brigade of Guards. And at that point, they had no choice, but of course, you just need to stand. Please go back. Let's take the other tweet very quickly. This one says, if he was singing, now I'm Mama Bidiso. We're not going to get another one.
That's a good.
Now
that's
Mama
a good.
Bidiso.
Olive knows how to
giving
sing
him
the
extra
song,
time.
but
Let's move on.
We hope we can get her online very soon.
This is Yoruba play level now. Why are you all trying to make it seem like a big deal? Be a pause. And that's what I said. This is my summation of what happened. I think it's not a big deal. I think it's just
there's a place and time for those kind of
that culture
play.
will always trump. I think culture will always, triumph.
No.
Every protocols at a certain time in life.
I don't agree.
You always hear
I vehemently condemn your statement.
All right, it's okay. Sorry. Do we have one more? If we could take one more before we come back to the studio live. Samax, she literally gave him the headmistress versus naughty student treatment. Remi Tinubu does not play with protocol. She wanted a serious government function, but Adeleke thought he was opening a
praising God is
concert.
He wasn't playing. He was praising God.
You can't blame him. The music is in the blood. It's in the blood, man. Yeah, man. We just need to make life.
It's an Adeleke for a reason.
Yeah, it's a shake situation, and you don't have a choice. Adebanji shake is what I said. Take note. Adeleke should leave music for the musicians and dance for the dancers. He's a governor, yet he spends more time dancing and entertaining than focusing on the responsibilities he was elected to perform. His primary duty is to govern, not to entertain. Osun State needs development, not a full-time performer in government. Leadership is not a stage, it is a serious work.
Adebanji is being too harsh. I remember I did an interview with His Excellency a few years ago, and okay, let's finish this and I'll tell you that story.
Mazi Uche Okeodo says, seeing the wife of the president speak to the Osun State governor like that did not sit well. A governor should be treated with basic respect in any setting. The way she stopped him came off as clear disrespect and turned what should have been a smooth event into public tension. Well, that's pretty much all we're going to take on that conversation, but let's let you know that you can also react. Go on our socials and let us know what you think. Oleg joins us on this.
Yeah. So I want to know your take. Does this sit well with you, or does it all go well with you?
So first of all, good morning to our audience. Thank you for joining us this morning on Breakfast Central. But I'm going to say that I heard both your arguments, and I'm going to lean more in the direction of Gbenga's
great minds.
And why I would lean more in that direction is because, and I hear you, Joe, when you say they are pals and friends, but there's a time and place for everything. I have a friend who's a king. Behind camera, when we were in school, I would call him Shedi Alpha. And sometimes, even I ran into him, I saw him a while back, and Shedi. But then I caught myself because I realized he's no longer Shedi. He's His Royal Majesty. In public, I will never call him Shedi. I would give him the honor that he deserves. If we're speaking over the phone as pals, I can call him, HRM Shedi, how far now? Do you get? Because we're friends. But I would never disrespect him like that in public. I would never do that. That's undermining his authority. There's a place and there's a time for everything. It's the same way spiritual authority, political authority, you have, no matter how big a person is, right? There are people who will look at them and be like, you don't have sense, and slap you on the head.
That is our
but there are things you will never do to them.
Joe, that is our friend. Imagine him at Hotel Expo, convener is giving a speech and they will come in, Joe, see your big head.
I'll collect the scripts. No.
You see.
So
it will not go well with you. I
leave that to go with me. There's a way that could have been done with more decorum. And we know this, we're all MCs. A simple writing on the note to say, please, kindly wrap up and give it to him the first time.
And she if he's not doing it,
please, you need to wrap up now. And pass it there with a smile, you put it on the podium. This is how MCs do it. All the time, we have
but the First Lady is not an MC.
Yes, she's not an MC. Why she shouldn't have done it herself?
ADC
she should have sent it
to overseeing the event.
Okay, she should have sent her ADC.
You're being honored. You shouldn't even be standing and moving.
Or she should have written it down.
Places.
Or if she's even telling him that, you whisper it into his ear in a way that people will not hear. I'm like, listen, the First Lady is not aware of what we see in the English Premier League, where footballers talk like this.
She's a former senator,
footballers talk like this because of lip syncing and the lip readers who are professional people who they pay money now to read your lips.
Yeah.
So
Well,
maybe
that's
if she
an
knew
angle.
that, she would have just said, please.
No, it was even she shouldn't have stood up from her seat in the first place.
But I'm sure that this is a teachable moment for her.
And for that tweet that was condemning the governor of, not facing governors, two things can be true at the same time. He has a personality type, and is a happy-go-lucky type of person.
Just to confirm, what event was that event? What were they doing at the event? I think the governor also has a responsibility. You need to understand that there's a time and place for everything. If it's a government event, if it's a political event, I'm not sure what the event
it's
is.
It's a traditional event. Yeah, mixed with government. Yes.
So if it is a pure government event, is why at government events, for the most part, their prayer is the national anthem, because it's a secular gathering. They are Christians, they are Muslims. You have to respect everybody's religion, and if you want to pray, "O God of creation, direct and noble cause," or no, rather, you come to the third stanza of the current national anthem, and then exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a time and place, and I'm a Christian, but I say that you need to understand the setting, But let's move to the next story. Burkina Faso's military has confirmed that the 11 Nigerian soldiers currently in their custody were detained after carrying out what Nigeria describes as an emergency stop, but what the Burkinabe authorities have interpreted as an unauthorized entry. According to Burkina Faso, no prior clearance was granted, and the sudden presence of foreign troops appeared to violate military protocol and raise concerns of a possible incursion. While Nigeria maintains the personnel made an emergency landing in line with operational necessity, Burkina Faso has opened an investigation to determine the motive behind the unexpected border breach. Let's take a look at this video.
Communiqué de la Confédération des États du Sahel, AES, relatif à la violation de l'espace aérien confédéral.
And the English translation of what is being said in that video is: an aircraft belonging to the Nigerian Air Force of the Federal Republic of Nigeria type C-130 was forced to land today, December 8, 2025, in Bobo Dioulasso, Burkina Faso, following an in-flight emergency situation while it was operating in Burkinabe airspace. The military panel is specified, the military plane, I beg your pardon, it is specified, had on board 2 crew members and 9 passengers, all military personnel. An investigation immediately opened by the competent Burkinabe services made it possible to highlight the absence of authorization to fly over Burkinabe territory by this military aircraft. Therefore, the Confederation of Sahel States in its communique condemns with the utmost firmness this violation of its airspace and the sovereignty of its member states. Furthermore, faced with what it qualified as an inimical act carried out in contempt of international law and international rules of civil and or military aviation, General Goita assured that measures are being taken to ensure the security of the confederal airspace and the sovereignty and territorial integrity of its member states, as well as the security of the population of the AES Federation. Full stop.
Okay.
That is to say, what's Igompa?
So why would Nigerian Air Force,
not get permission
entering into another country's airspace, and you don't get permission from the control tower in Bobo Dioulasso that you have an emergency, you're going to land, and before you even get to Bobo Dioulasso, immediately you were crossing into Burkinabe airspace from Ghana. You should have communicated with the control tower in the country, the Civil Aviation Authority of Burkina Faso. They failed to do it, so they're in the wrong. What we have now is a diplomatic situation. We hope it doesn't spiral out of control, given the mood in the sub-region now, following the attempted coup in Benin Republic. But I'm sure they'll make diplomatic entreaties, and we should try and fix this before it becomes a major diplomatic incident. And there's also the French side, because as you know, the AES states have kicked out the French from the Sahel in the last few years following the coups, and they've severed relationships with Paris. And there's Nigeria that seems to be a very buddy-buddy with the French. And just on Sunday, President Emmanuel Macron did communicate with Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and they're also saying that, President Tinubu acted in Benin Republic on the instructions of the French. But don't take our words for it. Let's listen to what Nigerians are saying about this latest incident. Wow, this is an epistle Okay, I don't think we can take that. Let's move on.
No, we can maybe just take a few lines.
Okay.
All right? Okay.
Yes. Nkiru says, you ignored bandits at home, but confidently flew into another country's airspace. Burkina Faso just helped us to do small discipline. If you can't secure your country, don't go violating someone else's. I mean, and it's back to back. People also complain about you not dealing with bandits, but going to Benin Republic. Alex says, correct me if I'm wrong, but emergency landing in another country is not a crime under the International Aviation and Customary Law.
Says who? Alex.
I mean, how did you even get into the territory in the first place, let alone the incident
Alex,
of
please go and
emergency?
check your law very well. And it's not just any flight. Sorry, we had to talk on that. We're supposed to wait till we finish. But then again, it's not just, it's a jet that's used in terms of combat. So, yeah, you would not...
It's, okay, it's a military transport plane.
Yeah.
The Burkinabe airspace is manned by the Russian Africa Corps. We were lucky they didn't shoot first.
Thank you. But just for me, it's a clear case. I was scrolling through the presidency's page, handler, SSA, and one who was talking and giving us bit by bit detail and account of everything that happened hasn't even posted anything. I'm talking about Mr. Bayo Nanuga. I was expecting that by now he would have really,
maybe
spoken about it.
The situation.
No, he should be quick to put that because the international press is doing that on his behalf and on behalf of the president. The international press is doing that in Benin Republic. They've subtly, I heard they sort of kind of mentioned, but they kept it quiet. They kept it quiet. But the international countries are saying, this is what happened, even Burkinabe as well. Don't forget, too, that the president has a close call in terms of ECOWAS as well. We all know what that means. And don't forget that the Burkina Faso you're talking about, if you link them with the AES as well, and many of them, they are not in tandem with what's going on. They're not friendly with ECOWAS and so on and so forth. So initially, remember, they had equally warned that when ECOWAS said they were going to send in fighters to these countries. Remember what happened? It was a back and forth communication.
An attack on one is an attack on
if you attack one of these states, then you've attacked the other ones, which includes Mali, Niger, and so on and so forth. Now, you, in wanting to carry out a powerful work to ensure that you curb any form of mutiny in Benin Republic, you have now crossed the airspace. That same airspace, they warned against that. If you shoot there past our airspace, we will shoot you down.
And what were they doing there? Because there are two borders away from Burkina Faso. There's
they said the jet had an issue. There was an emergency, so they had to land.
So the question is, where they were there no other airspaces that they had permission from to land? You raised the key point.
And the key points there, of West Africa.
The key points there is that Burkina Faso, they've severe ties with ECOWAS, like you mentioned.
Absolutely.
Nigeria, of course, is ECOWAS. So there's already that strain that exists. The fears here would be the fact that I don't know what will happen. I don't know that. I hope they do not detain these people and use them as bargaining chips for, if Nigeria tries to push too hard. But in some measure, this is also some form of flexing for them to let all the neighboring countries know that they're not joking with their sovereignty. They're not joking with their borders and their boundaries on land and in the air. And it's a way of sending a strong message to say, do not come close, do not cross our boundaries. And I wonder how
the Burkinabes have every right to be suspicious of the airplane, what it's doing in their region.
Exactly.
Because if you look at the type of airplanes, a C-130 Hercules C-130 transport plane, it's used to ferry personnel and equipment. So, and they've been complaining about jihadist and violent extremist groups operating in Burkina Faso. They have every right to suspect all sorts of military transport planes that are coming in. Are you supplying some of these terrorists? Yes. Are you doing covert operations? So the Burkinabes will have to do a thorough investigation and questioning of the Nigerian crew before they release it. So I don't think any sort of diplomacy can make this incident just disappear
It's
in the
going
next
to
48
strain,
hours.
definitely strain
Because they
diplomatic
have
relations.
to also do their homework.
They've also raised
Yeah.
raised a signal alarm. They've said going forward, all the airspace should be tightened. Anything they see,
I was going to say that.
anything
I was
going
going to say
forward,
that this is
they're
also
going
going
to bring it down.
in the future.
That's what they've
if
done.
you have an emergency, you just be praying that your emergency doesn't land you in any of these states, because if you land there, he's going to signal trouble for you. So when there's a situation of an emergency, emergencies are obviously not planned. You just be hoping that it doesn't fall within the Sahel states, because it might not end nicely for you.
And then we shouldn't also demonize, just because they're a military government, we shouldn't demonize the Sahel states and treat them, like they're outcasts. These are fellow African
Yes.
and West African brothers and sisters. They might operate a different system of government, but we shouldn't alienate ourselves from them. And also, General Musa mentioned in the Senate that looking at this new strategy, he spoke about the strategy of
mutiny.
getting this Sahel states to buy into our war against terrorism. Because you can't go to sleep if your neighbor's house is on fire. You have vast ungoverned spaces in the Sahel, terrorist groups operating them, you have proliferation of weapons there that are going through our porous borders. So you need to have a sort of cooperation with them, military-wise, to deal with this. And you can't say, okay, just because you're a military government, we're not going to talk to you. And you can't think in silos anymore.
I'm happy that the president did listen to the calls by well-meaning Nigerians who said, don't go into a fight with these Sahel states.
Yeah, with Niger,
with Niger especially. Don't do that. Because the other states had mentioned that, like we rightly said here, if you touch one of us, you've touched all of us. And we're happy that there was a withdrawal immediately. Had it been that, anyway, let's not think about that. But the bottom line here is that as we progress on the show, the point is we need the SSAs, the president's handle, to speak to Nigerians. As journalists, we're getting these information from the outside source.
Or the Minister of Information. We have a Minister of Information.
Interior and all that. Where are they? Because the Minister of Interior should be able to know, flight and all that. All of this information should be on the table right now. In short, they should have tweeted to say, listen, we can confirm to you that this, because the international media
is a very serious
it's a very
issue.
And then they will write the narrative in the way that
But
they
if it's
choose to
Super
write the
Eagles
narrative.
now, they would have tweeted.
No. It's not supposed to be. Did you see the way the tweets were going concerning the pushback in terms of sending the fire for the force to ensure that
flexing muscle.
It's good. It's
And
good.
it's definitely because of
it's good information,
that
but
Niger is
will
taking
be
this
consistent.
reaction.
Yes.
Sorry, Burkina Faso is reacting this way. Definitely because of the recent incidents that Burkina Faso is reacting this way. But you can let us know your thoughts. We're streaming live on YouTube. Please go to News Central Live to drop your comments in the chat box, and we will take your thoughts. How do you analyze Burkina Faso detaining our military personnel and suspecting our jets, military aircraft? How could we have handled this differently, or how should we handle this differently? Let us know your thoughts on YouTube Live, or you can tweet at News Central TV. We'll go on a break to come back, but let's share with you what the top stories are this morning on Breakfast Central. This morning on Breakfast Central, President Tinubu warns public officers against corruption. The U.S. Congressman Riley Moore calls for efforts to combat insecurity in Nigeria. And still looking at what's happening within the country, Wike-led faction plans state congresses and convention. It seems we have two PDPs. Wike PDP bloc berates Turaki faction, elects National Caretaker Committee to oversee convention. We have the newspapers coming your way this morning. Join us for all these and more.